Hi everybody. So in 2025, I have been a hot mess. I just let everything go, seems like. So I've decided I am not waiting for 2026 to, what they're saying now, lock it in. I'm starting now, December 16th. And for the next 100 days, I am going to implement 5 goals and 5 action plans to go with those goals. So that I can implement those right now. So let's get a head start on 2026 together and become unrecognizable. Will you join me? I'm Michelle, this is Silver Colored Glasses, and on this channel we talk about everything seniorhood, aging, pre-retirement, traveling, living alone, and all of the changes that come with this new phase of our lives. So thank you for joining me. So as I said, 2025 has been interesting, and I have decided I need to get my act together and I don't want to wait. And 2026 is going to be my year. So again, thank you for coming along with me. I hope that you will join me on this journey. Again, I have 5 goals and 5 action plans, and I want to get started today. So in talking about why, I have worked in the mental health field for over 36 years. I mentioned that in my last video. And I've seen significant changes that people have made in their lives. And I actually have done that several times in my life, being hyper-focused on a goal, getting it done, and feeling so good about that. And I am determined to do that in 2026. I have seen the lock it in videos that everybody's posting. And that's what I've decided to do. And I want to look at and assess last year, but the goals that I'm going to implement for 2026 are that I want to lose at least for the next 100 days anyway. And then hopefully we'll continue that process after that. For the next 100 days, I want to lose 10% of my body weight. I want to have every meal be a 50-50 plate, which is 50% veggies and fruit. The other 50, half is starch and half is protein. And that's how I'm going to build my plates each day. I am already plant-based, but I am going to use the Mediterranean diet, which last year and the last several years has been voted the most effective diet. And so Mediterranean diet is the closest to match my plant-based diet, and I'm gonna get off all the vegan junk food and all of that extra stuff, and that's how I'm gonna eat. I am gonna work on my hydration. I wanna have at least 46 ounces of water a day. I really don't drink a lot of water on a regular basis, so I want to start that as well. And I want to walk or move for at least 30 minutes a day for cardio, and do some stretching every single day, at least 6 days a week. So that's the goal. And then I also want to make sure that I'm working on my sleep. I am terrible about staying up really late, and then you're sleeping for 5 hours and getting up to go to work. And I can feel that that's taken a toll on my body. It certainly affects a lot of things the next day. And so I really want to get better at that, at least during the weekdays, to sleep at least 8 hours. So the actions that are going to go along with those goals to help me is, again, a Mediterranean diet for my healthy eating. I bought a new water bottle, and I'll show you a picture of it. It's a 32 ounce, so I'll have to fill it up at least 1.5 times every day. And I'm hoping to be able to drink all of that at work. And that's my goal. Less coffee, lots more water. Let's see, for the 30 minutes a day, I bought in November, I purchased a Deer Run walking pad, and I really loved it. I've been doing that every night, and to help me with that, I've been reading a lot about goal setting recently, and one of the things that really struck me is talking a lot about anchoring your new habits to old, already established habits. And that way, the new habit becomes an extension of the old anchor habit. And so every night, my kids are grown, but just about every night we call each other. My daughter calls me and I call my son, and or vice versa. And so during that time, I have been walking on the walking pad during those calls. So that's about 30 minutes, sometimes a little bit longer. And so as soon as I see it's time for the kid calls, then I get ready to start walking on the walking pad. So far that's really helped, and I hope to continue. And then I'm going to add some stretching in on that too. I really want to work on sleeping of 8 hours. My goal is to try to get ready and go to bed at about 10:30 on the weekdays. That will help me get my 8 hours in before I have to go to work the next day. And let's see, and then the 50-50 plate. Oh, and meal prep. That was the other action, along with my healthy eating. I want to start doing some meal prep on Sundays. I used to do that. That was really helpful, and I've kind of gotten away from that, but I'm gonna prep my starches and veggies on Sunday night, and then I'll be hopefully ready to go for the week and won't be tempted to do the takeout on the nights that I'm feeling lazy. So those are my goals. Those are my actions, and I'm implementing them today. So I hope, or I'm thinking, that I thought it would be fun to build a community and do this together. So if you guys were interested, I would love for you to join me. If you want to join me, please subscribe to the channel and then put in a post what your goals are, and if you're going to join me for the next 100 days, or if you've got some different thoughts around that. But I really would love it if you want to come and join the journey with me. This is a little bit of a vulnerable video in that I'm sort of putting it out there, but I wanted to increase the accountability for myself. You know, the go big or go home kind of a thing. And I finally decided it's time to go big and to get some really strong accountability for myself to get myself back on track. And so that's the first thing, is putting it out on YouTube. And also too, I want to, for my accountability, I'm going to be weighing every week and writing that down. And I made a checklist for myself, and if I think about it, or if I can remember, I will post that in the bottom, but it has all of my goals on there, so I can check those off every day, and I can see that. I'm going to post that on my fridge so that I can see that as a visual every day if I'm meeting my goals. And then also there is a channel that I watch called Lena Lifts, and I don't know if you guys have watched that or not, but it's great. You should get on YouTube and look her up. One of the things that she was talking about the other day when I was watching one of her videos about goals is that it's been really helpful for her to post evidence, 2 photos a day, of her meeting her goals. So whether that's your food plate, or you exercising, or your water bottle empty, or whatever that might be, to get in the habit of posting that. So I'm going to figure out a way to do that as well. And maybe we can, if we do have a community of people that want to start this, we can do that for each other. So those are my accountability tools as well. One of the things that I've also been reading about the goal setting that I found that might be really helpful. Ali Abdul is a YouTuber and very creative and productive YouTuber. And on one of the videos that I was watching for him, he was talking about making sure to be very specific. Make sure that you write down your goals. That helps your brain start that process rather than just thinking about your goals, but actually have them in writing. And writing down your action goals as well. Monitor it frequently. So that's where I'm going to do the weigh-ins, and also use the checklist as well. And then he also said to monitor and reward your progress. And so I'm going to build in some of that as well. So on a weekly basis, at least, I'm going to be checking my progress, see where I'm at. Did I meet the goals for at least the weekdays that I've set? Did I do my exercising 6 days of the week? And if not, what were the barriers, and try to get rid of those barriers or mitigate those the best that I can. So that's the plan. One of the things too, I think is important. One of the other YouTubers that I was watching, Jenna Hong, has a great channel, and she talks about assessing the last year so that you can look at the new goals that you're making and figure out the barriers that I was talking about. And so ask yourself, what has worked this year? What were my wins this year? And write those down. She said, what were your healthy habits that you gained this year? Did you have any new habits towards your health that were this year in 2025 that you can carry over into 2026? So I'm going to write those down, and I will share those in the comments below with you. She also said to ask yourself, did I like how I treated myself this year? And I thought that was a really interesting question to ask yourself. Do I like how I treated myself, as well as treating others? this year? And if not, what am I going to do different this year? So I really like that question. She said to phrase things in the new form of where you want to be. So such as, I am a person who exercises every day. I am a person who eats healthy food. Rather than just saying I would like to, or I hope to, or I'm going to try. Those kind of comments, she says, keep you from achieving your goal. So talk in the current tense. I am a person who eats healthy. And so I'm going to start putting some of that stuff on my mirrors and trying to remind myself to be talking in that turn. She said to ask what your why is going to be. Why are you wanting to get healthy? For me, it's increased, a feeling of increased health, increased energy. I want to feel better, just in general. I'm planning a big trip in April with a bunch of my girlfriends for our 65th birthday. I almost said wedding anniversary, our 65th birthday. And also for my kids. I got really, really ill this year, and it was really scary for my kids, I have to say. And so I want to show them that I'm doing everything that I can now that I've recovered, or I'm still recovering, and that 2026 is going to be a great year of health for me, so that they don't have to be fearful around them. And then again, she said, talk about and decide what your accountability is going to be, what your needs are, and then what your barriers are. So in terms of assessing last year, I've identified some of those things, and I'll put those in the post below. And then on a weekly basis, this is going to be an extra video every week. I'm going to do my regular videos on Saturday, and I want to say that these videos for the journey for the next 100 days will come out on Wednesdays, is my plan. So it'll be a little bit extra for the channel for the next 100 days, and hopefully they'll be successful ones. So thank you for joining me today. Again, if you want to join me, I would love it if you would. Please post in the comments if you want to, and we'll get together and be unrecognizable in 2026. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.